I'm Vanessa Eriksson, your host. This is the brand new podcast, and I'm here to bring you meaningful conversations in data, AI, innovation, and leadership. It's International Women's Day today, and what better way to celebrate than with my 3 beautiful daughters. Here to talk about data, AI, what they're studying, and how relevant it is in the world we're shaping today. So, without further ado, I introduce to you Emily, a political science student at Stockholm University.
Hi.
Leah, an engineering student at KTH.
Hello.
And Molly, strategic communication at Umeå University. That's way up north, and it's really cold.
Yes.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
My first question goes out to you, Molly. You've been working with Girls at Technotics as a social media director and a leader for over 2 years. You've helped us to set up those accounts at TikTok, which we all got accounts, but we still don't know what to do with it on the board. But you've helped us with TikTok and Instagram to push out and reach the audiences that we really need to inspire. So thank you, Mols, because we really needed this. We've got our LinkedIn accounts, which is nice because we reach the businesses, but I think we needed you and your help to reach the younger ones. And you're studying strategic communications at Umeå University. Research today shows that AI is being used heavily within communication and marketing. Do you feel that this is aligned with the work that you are doing or the studying that you are doing and what's happening in the world outside?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I agree with you that I think AI is a tool that is very commonly used in communications, and I think that it is a tool that should be as well, because I use it a lot when I work with Girls at Technotics.
Yeah.
For example, just reaching out to target audience and like customizing text and like just tailoring specific content to specific crowds. So I really think that it is a really great tool and it's necessary too. But however, we're not allowed to use it in university at all. It's
But that's strange, isn't it?
I think I agree.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised when I first came there because I've heard from many of my friends who studied different universities that their universities and their professors encouraged them to use AI and other like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, or any of them. But for us, they like one of my first days there. They threatened us and told us that if we use AI and were caught doing it, that we could get expelled.
I'm curious, Molly, is it only your course or is it the university in general has just forbidden the use of AI?
I'm not actually sure. As far as I know, it is the entire university.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. But either way, I think, especially someone studying strategic communication, it should be allowed. I know that there are like certain levels of using it. I mean, I don't necessarily agree that you should use AI to write an entire essay.
Yeah.
Because that would be cheating, and I agree with that. But I just think, as you said before, with the statistics that
yes.
Yeah.
It was the Wall Street Journal that shared that the most of AI or AI is being used massively in automation within the advertising and the marketing and communications, that entire space.
Yeah.
So, which it is a bit strange, and I'm guessing that the university will have to change their way of thinking and allow it to some extent in the near future, I'm guessing. What do you think?
No, but I totally agree, because right now AI is already such a huge thing. Like for you, I assume, and for us, for all.
I recall recently we were looking at Spotify and the use of AI behind it, where The Weeknd was number one in the world. Yeah. I think that, AI is being used everywhere. So I'm guessing the courses will have to adapt.
I think so too, and I hope they do, because I mean, I understand that they wouldn't want us to like use AI just to, take the easy way out. But instead of forbidding it, they should maybe at least teach us the correct ways to use it, especially, as I said before, as someone studying strategic communication. Since it is such a big thing now, I can just imagine what it's going to be like in, let's say, 10 years, when my generation and I get out in the working field. We're going to have to know how to use AI in correct and strategic ways.
But I think more than that, Molly, because of the advertising and the marketing, I'm thinking you will have to know how to know what is fraud. And, with the AI and the fake media or the fake news that is out there, how to be able to spot it. Because if you ask me, I'm not sure I would be able to know what is fake and what is not today, unless it's obviously very evident.
Yeah.
But I think that would be also as part of your course, I can imagine.
No, I agree with that too. I think there has to be some sort of balance.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people still want that, human contact, and not just think that they're chatting with the robot all the time.
Thank you, Molly. Okay, my next question goes out to Leah. You've been gone for a year and a half.
Yes.
We're very happy to have you back.
Thank you.
So, but I'm thinking, with your experience of, traveling, being in other countries and continuing to study, what's the difference you find in young professionals, in their acceptance of AI? Do you see a big difference compared to Sweden? I mean, you've been in France, you've been in Portugal, and in Luxembourg. Are there any major contrasts and differences that you see?
In terms of differences, it's a bit difficult for me to say. Different universities that I've been studying at have different policies on AI usage in the courses. But in terms of similarities, it's widespread, a very large acceptance among students. They accept AI into their studies. They want to use it. They have such a lot of curiosity. Every time there's a new AI model being released, be it DeepSeek or improved version of ChatGPT or Gemini, they're very keen to incorporate that into their studies immediately.
Nice.
Which is really great to see, right? That we're using the tools that exist. But another thing that I think about in terms of this question is I had a course recently at KTH, which was about AI and its usage in supply chain. And I had to do a research paper on this topic. And what we found in our research paper was that AI is really growing a lot, especially in the research area. So there are new models being released, which are AI research agents.
Yeah.
And this is also a very important aspect of AI, because you have to consider the things like biases and, the time save and how AI can be implemented, correctly, so to say, like in the least biased way and efficiently, but without reducing the authenticity of the author or any other kind of harmful aspects to minimize these. Seeing these different things in academia is great. Another interesting point on this question is when I was working in Luxembourg, I had lots of interesting discussions because Amazon, where I was working, they had their own internal AI agents, which we were using. And so I just came into this discussion with my colleagues about AI and the future of tech and innovation and how we're going to use it, and also trying to ensure that we use it in a way that people are still in control, that people are still smarter than AI agents.
Yeah.
Or wiser, maybe, than AI agents. And one of my colleagues, he mentioned something which I really took to heart, which is that we, like my generation, our generation, we're the first to grow up with smartphones, with mobile phones that have these like Siri and a voice assistant and a tech assistant. And I think it's going to shape the way we live, of course, but then also the way we raise our kids. And also in terms of like not just screen time and having a phone or not having a phone, but what we trust online, what we see online and what we think is real, authentic,
Authenticity.
authentic, and fake. And I think this is really important. And I think that we are the first generation to know about these dangers. And we will henceforth also raise our kids to be aware of this.
Leah, I absolutely love what you're saying, because on Friday at the Girls at Technodics event, we talked about the future of work and the future of education. And what you're saying is so relevant, because to me it is the future of life. What is life going to be like? And you're absolutely right when you say, you're going to have so much more to share with your children. You will know so much more.
At the same time, there will be so much more development.
True that.
So we will always have to stay in the loop. And I think for us and for you, for everyone, like AI, most probably, it's also similar to what Molly said, AI will most probably be part of our daily life.
Yes.
There are probably a few, but I don't see a way around having AI incorporated into your daily life. So we just need to figure out how to work with it in a smart way, in a smart and efficient way.
Emily, my last questions to you. You've worked with me the longest at Girls at Technodics. You started out with helping me get the projects together, and then to operations manager. And I hope I've said thank you and appreciated all the work that you've done for us at Girls at Tech and making a difference, because you have. Emily took a little break now to do an exam, and how we have missed her. So my co-founder Ulrika Andersson and I are just waiting for you to get back. Emily, you've had first-hand knowledge of the challenges we have faced in getting companies to engage. PROW, which is mandatory work-life experience for 8th graders, and also internships on occasions. It has been so difficult, and you have really been the one out there, knocking on company doors, helping us to open those doors. As a political science student at Stockholm University, would you share with us, what could be done differently, and also share a little flavor of the challenges that you have faced in this journey with helping us?
First of all, I think the thing about what we want to do with PRAO and Girls at Technordics is that the work there is companies need to be able to open their doors to have younger girls come in and practice working and understand what that kind of environment, work-life environment is like. Because as we've all kind of discussed a little bit today, the future of work probably lies more within technologies. That's where STEM educations are heading. That's where university educations are heading. There's a shift entirely in education that goes more towards STEM areas. And that means that it's not enough for kids to just go to like the local pizzeria or like a grocery store to do their mandatory work-life experience. They probably need to experience something that is a little bit more knowledge intensive. Therein lies the problem, that an 8th grader doesn't have that kind of information, doesn't kind of have that knowledge that is needed to be able to work in a very effective and efficient manner. It kind of slows the whole process down for the week of the other team that works there. But that is a challenge that we encourage people to still take. The feedback we have received from the kids who have done these PRAUs with us before is that it adds so much to their education and to their life to have experienced working with these more knowledge-intensive companies, which I think is really great to hear. So our encouragement is to just say that for companies to please open up their doors to that. From a political perspective, there is a desire to work more closely with businesses and schools, for instance. That's something that Girls at Tech Nordics also has done. And I think that where politics can also help is that if they have that desire to merge these two closer, to help kids understand what work lies ahead of them and what the future might look like for them, there could be a point in making it not law, but starting policies, creating policies, implementing policies that will ask companies to take in students. Maybe that's more of a recommendation. What we can do is also push forward these ideas into society from a political point of view and have companies take initiative and realize these things about themselves, that to create programs or to create after-school things, to engage more kids, to engage more students, and then not to be afraid to open doors for kids for doing PRAU or whichever aspect it is, since this is going to be our future workforce.
Indeed. The hesitation that companies have today, could you share a little insight on that? You know, why is there hesitation? Why is it that we're feeling the heaviness of getting these companies to work with us?
I think, again, a lot of the hesitation that comes with having kids work in these areas is that it is very knowledge intensive, that it's very high academic level of things that are being done.
Yeah.
Again, the thing about working in a grocery store is that it's not that kind of knowledge intensive. It's more manual labor, it's organized, it's logistics, which is fairly straightforward to take care of, compared to working with risk management analysis at Telia that we had some of our kids do.
Yeah.
But again, anything is possible.
Yes.
And if it's for the sake of our future, then I think that more people need to be able to open up and take this on.
More people need to be engaged and help us. Thank you, Emily. I really appreciate your insight. We definitely need more people working with us. So, girls, thank you. If you haven't noticed already, you know, these three are my inspiration. And I am so happy to have you. A happy International Women's Day to you. And to all of you that are watching this with us, if you've liked this, please subscribe to us. There's more to come, a lot more. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.